What is up, Truz Army? We're back here with another video. Today we're doing record predictions for the NFC South, the Bucks, Saints, Falcons, and Panthers. Going from mine, but Adrian, I don't think we have. Oh no, we do have different. Okay, um, but um, we'll go through all the records. Two games from each season. Well, from this season, each team that we're gonna highlight. Remember that Week
Are we
19 is a playoff game, and that's not done yet. So just don't mark that. That's not really a thing.
are we
That's
are
just
we similar in our predictions except for
um
probably the Panthers?
the Panthers is the one that's we're
Okay.
really similar. I just realized Falcons has one game that I didn't mark. My bad. I'm not Cowboys. So yeah, we're now even more similar than original. But we're gonna start with the Bucks, and I'm gonna go first. Adrian, you can go next. Whatever.
Okay.
But so I have the Bucks going 15-2. I'm pretty sure Adrian has them going 14-3. A couple of huge games for them this season. Obviously, we know that they're the reigning Super Bowl champions. Everyone came back from the team, which is a big key thing. Tom Brady building even more with that team, and still a lot of the same weapons. Probably add on a little bit more. Um, Although everything changes coming year, like as the year goes on. So I have them losing two games this year, and I'm going to mark one of them right now. So I think they lose to the Saints week 8. I know no Drew Brees, probably famous Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill starting, but I just feel like the Saints have one up on Tom Brady. Although that wasn't true, what, at the end of the season, or was that in the playoffs? I think it was in the playoffs.
That
I'm
was
not.
in the playoffs.
It was in the
They
playoffs.
finished
Okay.
him. And
Yeah.
Drew Brees, he was like crying as he walked out.
Yeah, and then he retired. Um, but I think that they have one up on them there, and then I do think they're going to beat them at the end of the season. But my second highlight is going to be their other loss, which is going to be the Giants. And they did this last year. I think the Giants beat them last year. I'm 99% sure. I don't know completely, but I'm pretty sure I remember the Giants beating the Bucks.
Now, the Giants lost in the 2-point conversion. If you know that.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
It was still a close game though. I
The
feel like the
questionable
Giants
PI
pulled.
call too.
Oh, true,
That
true,
could
true.
have
I forgot about
gave
that.
them the W.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Um, but I think Giants pull off the win off a bye. Although they're away going into Tampa Bay, I feel like they can pull off a win, especially after playing football team. Probably prep for them, and then not as prep for the Giants. But two interesting games, two interesting losses. If you guys disagree, completely understand. But 15-2 is their record. I don't really think they'd go 16-1. I mean, they could. They could definitely go 17-0. I mean, there's a chance. They're just that good. But Adrian, predictions.
I said 14-3. One more loss than Gavin said. I think this will probably be Tom Brady's last season. I mean, most likely. We never know. Maybe the guy will just play till he's 80 years old. He'll be, using a walker to come out there and sling the pigskin around. But I think this probably is going to be his last year. And, I think they're going to want to go with a bang. 14-3, definitely a respectable record. Game I'd like to highlight, football team versus the Bucks. I think the football team actually takes the win, which will sound surprising, but I am higher than the football team than most, only because I think they have a very dominant pass rush and run defense as well. Defensive front line, very young, very stout. I think they're only going to really get better. Chase Young, Montez Sweat. What else we have there? Deron Payne, and there's someone else I'm missing. I can't even. Matthew Ionda, or however the heck you say that. You know what I'm talking about. And I think those guys are really going to set the table to speak, and they should be able to get to Brady, disrupt things. I think the football team will take a W there. And then I'll also highlight Bucks over Bills. A potential Super Bowl matchup if you think about it. But I think in the interconference play, interleague play, I think the Bucks will pull it out against the Bills. I think it'll be close. I think it should be a high explosive offensive led game. Brady versus Allen. Two generations of quarterbacks. One new wave guy, one guy who just refuses to leave and just constantly sticks around. I think the Bucks will pull out the W, and we'll show why experience is one of the most important things when it comes to sports, especially you could say, physical sports. Like football has a high learning curve, so the more experience you have, the better. Especially at the quarterback position where you're reading defenses, making adjustments. The more things you see, the more things you recognize, the better you'll do. Experience outduels Buffalo and Josh Allen, and I think the Bucs take the W there, helping them get another win in their 14-3 season.
I also think the Bucks have a better defense than the Bills. If I were to say so myself.
Yeah, I agree there
But
for sure.
definitely your point was without a doubt
Bills defense used to be like
correct.
solid
I'd
to it's
say.
a weird thing. The Bills defense went from like being great to just being trash and like
I don't
in a
even
bit.
remember the same. I mean, the Bills defense like what years ago. I don't even remember it.
Remember they had Tre'Davious White. They were like
Well, I mean,
solid.
they
They had
have
that
Travis White,
secondary.
so
Yeah, no. Like I'm saying, like when he was like balling,
true.
and like the whole thing as a team was just I don't know.
Yeah, but with their team right now, it doesn't really seem like their defense really matters as much. I mean, yeah, it matters, but like the amount of points that they put up. But still, I think the Bucks will win that game. I agree with you there. On to the Saints, who I have going 8-9. Adrian has them going 8-9. I think 9-8. Okay, so just one game off here. Um, and pretty solid season for the Saints, especially without Drew Brees. I think coaching is just going to be key. The amount of weapons that the QB, whoever it's Taysom Hill or famous Jameis Winston, one of the two, they're going to have a huge amount of weapons on defense. They're still pretty good, pretty solid. This is just a really solid team, and I think they really deserve a mediocre record. Maybe a little better than 8-9, maybe 10 wins, maybe even more like 7 wins. I really could see them right in between there, and I think 8-9 is a really good guess. Couple highlights for their season. I'm gonna highlight Week 3 Saints Patriots. I think this is a really good matchup. And I think Cam Newton's probably still starting at this point. I don't think Mac Jones is starting here. Maybe gets subbed in every once in a while. Maybe kind of like a Jalen Hurts, Carson Wentz thing from last year. But I think the Patriots pull out the dub. Maybe a little bit better coaching. Maybe a little bit of a better QB. That's probably not true. Sorry, I'm not a big fan of Cam Newton. Um, but it's going to be a really, really close game. I think the Patriots might have a bit better of a roster, and I think the Patriots pull out the win, probably just generally off better coaching. Although these are really, really good coaches that are facing off in this game. Sean Payton and of course Bill Belichick, amazing, amazing coaching. And Patriots went off that one. Another one to highlight, I'd have to mark Week 7. Coming off the bye, they faced the Seahawks. Really, really good game. One Monday night too, which should be pretty sick. Um, but I think they pull out the dub in Seattle. Probably one of the hardest, well, probably the hardest stadium to go into, especially with the amount of noise. But I don't know if they're going to be maxed out with COVID and stuff. But I think the Saints pull out the dub. I don't really know why. I just kind of feel it happening. Bye week should definitely help them here. And they do kind of go on a bit of a run. They win 3 games straight after their bye week, but should be an interesting season for them. I really, really think it's either 7 wins or 10 wins, somewhere in that range, kind of like a floor and ceiling type thing. Anyway, Adrian, take it over with your prediction.
So I had the Saints obviously going 9-8, as Gavin said. I would have said higher, but I think the abrupt QB change is gonna kind of throw things off. I believe in Taysom Hill only because he had the success against the Falcons last year, and I think Sean Payton loves that guy, so he'd find a way to scheme him into the spot. But if it is former first overall pick Jameis Winston, then so be it. I think he can also find a way for him to succeed, get his second chance in New Orleans. But yeah, 9-8 after the QB change, I think that's a solid season. Like, if you can lose your Hall of Fame quarterback and still get a 9-8 season, I think that is pretty solid. That's like actually great.
I would
They
have to
definitely
agree.
they've prepared for this for a long time. And that's why I think 9-8 is a respectable record and a probable record, something along then. Like Evan said, maybe 10 wins, 11 wins is the ceiling, but then like 7-8 as the floor, and then most likely something in the middle of that. That's why I had it at 9 wins. But I would like to highlight 2 games, and that will be the first game against the Packers, season opener. I think the Packers are going to be a good W against the Saints. It's going to be a wake-up call for whoever's playing quarterback. If Aaron Rodgers is there, then I think the Packers pull the W. That's the thing, though. If Jordan Love is there, I think the Saints might be able to rattle him and actually win that game. It all just depends on who's the quarterback for Green Bay at that time. Like we said, that's the thing about the predictions. A lot of the stuff can change because of how fast paced and how high moving the NFL is. We don't even know who the Packers are going to start at QB week 1 because Aaron Rodgers is a drama queen and is starting the whole
And
NFL off.
maybe A
So
Rod gets injured, or the other way
yeah,
around for the Saints. Maybe Alvin Kamara gets injured in the season. Really never
yeah.
know.
So we don't really know what happens. That's why these are early predictions and are subject to change. But then they'll be fun to look back on and just fun to debate and talk with, especially with you guys. But that's the first game, and then I also like to highlight. I was gonna say Patriots, but Gavin took that one.
My bad, bro.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I'll go. Good Dolphins Saints.
Ooh,
Very interesting, weird interconference play. I don't know. Two teams like I feel like when I hear those teams combine for a matchup, nothing really comes to mind. If that makes sense.
I would say
A lot of
mediocre
rivalries.
comes to mind.
I think of coaches versus coaches, players versus players, division rivals versus division rivals, ex players, all that crap. Highlights that happened when they played before. But it's like Dolphins and Saints. I don't know. There's not a lot of history there, at least for me. Being the person that I am. But I think the Dolphins are actually going to pull it out because the funny thing is, I think Brian Flores is an underrated coach who doesn't get a lot of respect that he deserves. I think the
Agreed.
guy is a great coach, or at least a decent coach. And I feel like he'll be able to have Tua put together an impressive performance that will at least beat the Saints. Like I said, I see the Saints as being a decent team, good team. Like Gavin said, they got a lot of weapons, but I don't think they're like a formidable force where they can't be stopped. They can be stopped, and they will be stopped. And in my opinion, it will be 8 times this year, 9 times will they take wins, and that will be the Saints 2021-2022 season, in my opinion, at this time.
Um, just wanted to say real quick, guys. This is recorded after Julio Jones got traded. So the Falcons record is a little bit tampered with. Um, Sadly, the Titans one was not. So, I wouldn't have changed it much because probably Julio is going to get re-injured. But I mean, yeah,
Yes.
I probably would have maybe given them one more win. 12-5 is a pretty good record already. Adrian put him at 8-9. I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
you want to move that up.
Yeah, I would
But
probably bump it to like 9, 8.
um, but Falcons, I have them going 5-12. Adrian has them going 5-12.
7,
Look at that.
12.
Yeah. But 1-5 in the division. Where is their one win against the division? Oh, last week of the game. I mean, last week of the season. Um, but Falcons, I just don't really think they're too good. I think they're slowly kind of building towards like a tank. But still a lot of weapons on offense. Obviously, Kyle Pitts, Matty Ice back there at QB, and then you got Calvin Ridley, one of the like big superstars of the last season. Definitely popped out. Of course, Julio Jones, kind of like the big shadow over him, as I think Adrian has said in the past videos. But yeah, I mean, it's not a great season, not a great season at all. But Matty Ice aging, things like that. I just don't really think they have too great of a roster. I don't even know how good coaching is on that team. I don't watch much of the Falcons, if I'm going to be honest, but I know they're not
It's a
super
new
great.
coach.
Oh, they have a new coach. Okay, so
Yeah,
that's also
Danklin got
another thing
fired.
that would add on to
And
this.
Mike Davis is the running back now.
Oh yeah, Mike Davis. I forgot about that. Ex-Panther. I actually liked Mike Davis too. Good luck for him. Anyway, Falcons. Two highlights for the season. I'm gonna have to say we just highlighted Dolphins, but I'm gonna highlight them again. Week 7, Dolphins beat Falcons even off the Falcons bye. Um, Dolphins. When I think of Dolphins, I think mediocre. I said that during Adrian's little run he had, and I think Dolphins are better than Falcons without a question of doubt. I think this game's close, especially knowing that they're coming off the bye. The Falcons are coming off the bye, but I think Dolphins are just a little too good for them. I think the Dolphins have a lot of talent. It's just untamed talent, I would say right now, especially with Tua. Tua just needs to get it to go, get it working, and I think they get it this week 7 against the Falcons. Win maybe 1-2 score, maybe close game, but not exactly down to the wire, probably just kneeled out. Um, Another one I would like to highlight would be Week 10, Falcons Cowboys, or Cowboys with the win here. I think Dak is not going to be 100% this year. Probably said that in past record predictions. I don't think he's going to be 100%, but even if he's 85% or 80% or 75 or whatever percent, I think he can pull out the win here, and especially knowing what happened last year, Falcons Cowboys. I'm not gonna say anything because if there is Falcons fans in the comments, yeah. But that was a harsh game. And I think it's gonna hit him
Falcons
again.
boy 471's gonna eat us alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but I think Falcons lose that game. I think the Cowboys are just too good. Even though Zeke sucks, I think the Cowboys win that game. Probably better QB play, um, and just a better roster, I would say in general. Not a great season, like I said. Probably closer towards like a tanking team, but 5-12 isn't horrible, I would say. Adrian?
I have the Falcons going 5-12 as well, as Gavin said. Overall, I don't think they're too solid of a team. I think Matt Ryan is regressing, and age has caught up to him. It's kind of funny to think that Matt Ryan and Joe Flacco are in the same draft class, so their regression is kind of similar in a way. Obviously, not fully, but like you got to think the level that Joe Flacco was at before, and now what he is similar to basically what Matt Ryan was from MVP to now. I think he's regressed. They traded away Julio. They're trying to cut cap space. They got a brand new coach. They got Calvin Ridley, who's a young stud, but still saving cap space, trading away old superstars. I think they were trying to shop Grady Jarrett potentially. I think I heard that somewhere. But they're trying to make moves for the future, trying to make moves to get wins in later years, and even if it's a sacrifice now, they got generational talent supposedly in Kyle Pitts. Um, so I think they have a good setup for the future, but not right now, in my opinion. That's why only 5 wins. Not too great of a season, if you look at it. But the games I would like to highlight compared to the rest, I'm gonna go with the Falcons. The Falcons losing to the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence, first overall pick. I think with the beat up on a pretty poor Falcons team, which would be an interesting game because Falcons are going to Jacksonville, and I don't know. Those games are always interesting to me because when you get to see a rookie quarterback go against a bad team or like a poor team, maybe even just mediocre. There's no excuse like, oh yeah, that defense is amazing. No wonder he did bad. Like if Trevor Lawrence is bad against the Falcons defense, even if they are mediocre or you consider them bad, that's on him. So I'll definitely be watching that because it's not no excuse game. But if he does clap them, then that's also something interesting, especially because that could put him in the Rookie of the Year bid towards later this season. And then I also like to highlight the Falcons over the Jets, Week 5. Another rookie quarterback, Zach Wilson, but this time I think the Falcons will beat him. I feel like Lawrence is a little bit more NFL ready than Zach Wilson, especially because Lawrence will be playing him. He'll be playing the Falcons Week 12, Wilson in Week 5. Lawrence definitely the most polished prospect. That's why I went number 1 overall. Who knows how they'll do in the coming years, but I think Lawrence in Week 12 will be a better version of quarterback than Zach Wilson in Week 5 of the NFL season. So, all in total, I had the Falcons going 5-12, building towards the future. Brand new coach, trying to cut some cap space, trying to get rid of their old superstars who, are synonymous with their squad. Julio and the Falcons, something that a relationship we thought would never end. Just kidding, guys. It ended. He's in the Titans now.
So sad.
Ryan Tannehill. But
Yeah, Ryan Tannehill.
5-12, something to build on, something to get better with. Not terrible. Could be slightly better, but I think they could also be slightly worse. I'd say one or two games off. Either they could maybe go 6-11, maybe go 4-13, and that's about that.
Yeah, I could see low as 3 wins, but I don't really see that happening. I think that's a very low chance. Um. Anyway, on to the last team, the Panthers. This one's the only one that's really like big difference. I have them going 4-13. He has them going 9-8, which I mean I was kind of surprised by. But at the same time, Sam Darnold at the helm, you really don't know what's going on. Um, because he could be really really good. He could play really really bad. I don't really know. Um, and he doesn't know. But Carolina Panthers 4-13, my guess. I could definitely see a lot better. It really just depends on Sam Donald. I could really see something like 8-9, like Adrian said, and I could also really see something a little bit worse depending on how Darnold plays. It really a lot is up on that, and if Teddy Bridgewater plays a little bit this season. Anyway, into the highlights of the
Teddy's in the
season.
Broncos.
Gosh, I keep
Can't
dude,
forget.
I keep messing that up. I feel like I've done that before. I I think I was talking to him about that and I messed that up. Okay, sorry. Anyway, on to their season, I would say some highlights. Week 6, Vikings Panthers. I think Vikings pull out the win here. Vikings have a pretty solid roster. Of course, some breakout players on their team. Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen's still pretty good, which is kind of nice. Justin Jefferson, of course, the rookie stud who almost got Rookie of the Year. Um, but I think Vikings just have a better roster. And if Sam Darnold's playing great, dude, like I said, like right before talking about this could totally be a different game. This could totally be a Panthers win. But I see Vikings win this game, even though they're going into Carolina. Another highlight I would have would be let's go Panthers beat Falcons. Panthers coming off a bye in week 14. I think Panthers bye plus being at home, and maybe they really are energized to win this game, even though they know there's a low chance of making the playoffs. Um, Come in and they fight really hard for a win against the Falcons, who end up getting a better record than them in my predictions. Um, but it's a real close game, probably 2 scores, I would say. Win just because the Panthers are so pumped to win that game. Like I said, coming off the bye week. And I think Sam Darnold plays probably one of his best games there. Like Adrian had said, Falcons not the greatest defense in the world, so should should be a good chance for Darnold to have a good little day and showed that he does have some good potential for their team. Adrian, what's your predictions for the Panthers season?
Time to defend the Panthers. I think the Panthers have a high chance of succeeding this year. I know it might sound crazy to some, but Panthers fans, they'll give me the love. You guys better give me the love in the comments. 9-8, I said. I think they could even do better than that. I feel like they actually got a stacked team that I feel like is really underrated. They got a pretty good coach in Matt Rule or whatever. I don't even
Yeah,
Ruhule.
Matt Rule.
I think he's pretty solid. And then also they have Christian McCaffrey, one of the best running backs in the league. He was
Gonna
hurt
get
last year, so
re-injured.
people didn't really give credit to that. Robbie
Sorry.
Anderson's a stud receiver. DJ Moore is also a stud. That's 2 studs. That's 3 studs on the offensive there, and a new quarterback who's got chip on his shoulder, trying to prove, finally getting a chance to get away from the poverty Jets. Should be interesting to see how he plays. I believe in the offense. I believe in the team. I think they're going to do pretty good. And I'd like to highlight, a big game for me to highlight. I would say Panthers over Bucks. I'm trying to find what week it is. 1 second. Week 16. Panthers beat Bucks. Divisional game. Anything can happen. I think the Panthers are going to come out. The Bucks are going to kind of underestimate them, not expect too much from them. But they're gonna be able to bounce back from their loss against the Bills. Come in, beat the Bucks in Carolina, have a solid game. Darnold should do great. Pretty decent enough to at least get the team the W. McCaffrey probably goes off, receiving threat and a running threat. DJ Moore does well. Team comes together as a whole and gives them a win. Their final win of the season based off my predictions. And I'd also like to cover, I would say, Week 10, Cardinals beat the Panthers. I think the Panthers are a solid team, but I think the Cardinals have a leg up on them just because Kyler Murray has established himself kind of, as a solid quarterback. I think Darnold can be good, but, Murray is definitely more established, and the former first overall pick, who has some skills, has the threats, running with his legs, passing, and he's got D Hop. So that's what I see for the Panthers. 9-8, probably, higher than the Panthers than most. Discuss this in the comments, but that's my last prediction, guys.
All right, so that's basically the vid. Real quick, Titan slander though. Um, just wanted to say Ryan Tannehill is not as good as people. All right, you talk about the trio in Tennessee, right? That does not include Ryan Tannehill. Just wanted to highlight that real fast. Anyway, that's it for the vid, guys. That was the NFC South. Next, we'll do the NFC East, then NFC West, um, and then we'll go on to the actual playoff predictions, which is basically the site we're doing this on. If you guys don't know, it's playoffpredictors.com, and then just look for the football 2021-2022 season. You guys can do it too. It's actually pretty good. Um, but yeah, that's it for the vid. Once again, another double check at our records. This is Adrian's prediction on the NFC South, and this is mine. pretty close. Other than the Panthers, I would say. Still surprised you put them at 9-8, but I could definitely see it happening with Darnold. That's gonna be it for the vid, guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what we did wrong. Let us know what we did right. If you're a Titans fan, don't comment. Um, and yeah, peace out, guys.